Hello and welcome back to Wizards Arena. My name is Draymore, and today is Deck 1 for Commander 2021. First up we have Lorehold, the red-white faction. And we start off with the alternate commander. For 3, a red and a white, you get a legendary artifact creature that's Golem. He's a 4/5. Other artifact creatures you control have haste. And then whenever one or more artifact creatures you control attack, he deals X damage to any target, and you scry X, where X is the number of tapped artifacts you control. Now, after reading this, they did what everybody wanted. For the most part, combat doesn't matter. You can do a thing of like saying, hey, player 2, I'm going to attack you with my Solemn for 2 damage. And then I can shoot the arch enemy, biggest planeswalker, I can shoot his commander to kill it, and then I get to, something along that line. You shoot something for, like, let's say 7. And I want to scry 7, but you're only taking 2 to calm him down. So we kind of get quasi card draw set up the top of our deck, and we get to do damage to any target, and it does not have to be the guy we're going after. So this is also a very political commander. It's so nice to see red-white finally getting to do something besides equipment or combat. Even though it is true, it's combat, it's not that big of a deal. I don't have to connect with the creature, so I can just send even if I want to send a Solemn at a guy, it can die, whatever. I don't care. So that's also kind of cool. Plus, with Felden of the Third Cane, again, Felden of the Third Path, in the starter, that just makes the ability trigger. So, they smashed it. It's an 8. It's really good. I look forward to building something like this. We're going to move on to our next guy. Angel of the Ruins. 5 and 2 white. Artifact Angel. 5/7 flyer. Okay. When he enters the battlefield, exile up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. When I first read this, I missed the part it also hits artifacts. I just saw enchantments down here. And he also has plane cycle of 2. So you ditch him if you get him early to go find little planes. So that's cool too. So for 5 mana, normally you could spend that, like something along these lines, over 5/7 or whatever. And then you're just spending 2 more to get the 5/7 flying EBT of exiling a god or whatever. So, me originally not seeing this completely, this is, it's a little pricey, but you do have the advantage of getting lands, which white desperately wants some to make sure it doesn't miss land drops. So I'm going to give this guy a 7. Moving on to our next guy. We're still in A's. The Arcture Men's map. 2 and a white. Enters the battlefield. Search your library for up to 2 basic planes. And reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle. Okay, that's amazingly good right there. And now there's a big paragraph of text. What's this say? When a land enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, if that player controls more lands than you, as usual, you may put a land card from hand on the battlefield. So if I cast this on 3, before my next turn, there's a good chance that one of my opponents has gone before me and has 4 lands out, or one of them has green. So I'll get to play 1 land. So when it gets back to me on turn 4, I have 4 lands in play. I can play a 5th land, So this is like what white's desperately wanted. We just need like 7 or 8 more of these to make it so white's caught up to the other colors. Like, I just feel like white's still struggling so far behind. But this is what white's wanted. This is the card that white's really needed. This is a 9. It, like, the only other thing it could have done is let you do it all the time or something crazy, but this just gets slammed in every white deck pretty much. Like, unless white's just being gingerly splashed in a deck with like green or green, blue, red or something like that, so it's like a 4th color. But it's just so good. Next up, we're still on A's. Audacious Reshapers, 2 in a red creature. Sack an artifact, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal an artifact, put that card into play, and the rest on the bottom in random order. And then you take damage equal to the number of cards revealed this way. So basically, play an all artifact deck, over like 40 artifacts, so you probably will take a little bit of damage, like 5 or 6. It's a random mutation effect. Not the greatest thing ever, but if the artifacts already go into the yard, like when using Felden's ability or something like that, the creature dies at the end, then you just sack it to this and get something for nothing. So that makes it not total trash. It's a 4, but it's not the greatest. Next up, we have Battle Mage Bracers. 2 in a red, equipped creature has haste. That's really sweet, especially if the creature in this come out later. Like if this comes out later game, you can slap this on the creature you cast and give him haste to activate the ability with. But it requires you to have a lot of mana to like cast a 5-drop and then spend 3 and then 2 more, then activate it and spend 1 to like copy it. So we're talking like 11 or 12 minutes to like really make this go crazy. But like it's still really good. So it's like Illusionist Bracers, and that was bonkers too. So this is like a 7. I love it. Red white shape would be amazing. Next up, we got the Bronze Guardian. So he's 4 in a white, double strike for X5. Ward of 2. Other artifacts you control also have Ward 2, so players have to pay 2 more to target them. So they'll probably have to go after him, unless they don't have anything like, they don't have like a walker removal or like an enchantment. And his power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. So right on his own, he's a 1/5 double striker, which, is not that great. But he does have protection. So, he's solid. Not terrible. He's a 6. Moving on to our next card. The Cursed Mirror. 2 in a red artifact. Tasked to add a red mana pool. Okay. So far it's a mana rock. For 3. And when it enters the battlefield, you may have it become a copy of any creature on the battlefield until end of turn, except it also has haste. So that's kind of cool. It can become a really big thing or a smaller thing with a nice EBT effect. And it has haste, so it does something the first turn it's out, and then after that it becomes just a mana rock. I kind of wish there was a way like spend 5 to trigger this ability again, or spend 6. Something like, even if it was really high like that, just so you do the effect again without having to pair it with another card. So because it doesn't have that text, I think it's only a 6. but it's, it's still cool, so that's why it's a 6. Moving on. The Dig Site Engineer 2 and a white for a 3/3 Dwarf Artificer. A good dwarf. Stats. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you may pay 2. And you make a 0/0 construct token that has power and toughness equal to the number of artifacts you control. So at worst case scenario, it's a 1/1, so you make it the Urza/Karn tokens. It's like the mirror, and as long as you got the mana, you can do this ability. Is like I play 4 artifacts this turn, I pay 8 mana, I get 4 tokens. So this has the potential, especially since you're in white with Anointed Procession, to get really crazy fast. I feel like, and then you can play cards like the Heartstone to make this only cost 1. But there's just so many good things here you can do, I feel. And the mirror was, like, that cost 2 and spend 1 to make 1/1 tokens was, okay in certain decks. So I feel, again, this is a very specific deck it goes in. So it gets a 6. But, it's really good. Moving on. What do we got? We are still in the early letters. Excavation Technique 3, a white, demonstrate. Here's the keyword that's only going to be on 5 cards. Stop doing this, Wizards. Less keywords. Bring back older ones, but let's see if this one's good. Whenever you cast a spell, you may copy it. You don't have to copy it. You can not bother. If you do, choose an opponent to also copy it. Players may choose new targets for this copy. Destroy target non-land permanent. A controller makes 2 treasures. So I'm player 1, and I go, hey, player 2. That guy over there has a crazy amount of stuff. What if we nuke 2 of his things, and then you nuke one of player 4's things to kind of keep him calm? And that way, we get rid of some of their non-land permanents. Yes, grant you, the guy that's furthest ahead is going to get 4 treasure tokens so he can recast a thing or make a bigger thing. So that might not be the greatest plan. But if you're losing anyhow, for 4 mana you get rid of up to 3 things, sorry. You give them 6 treasures between the 2 of them or 1 guy. The reason why they're getting the treasures is you're just getting rid of so much stuff for such value, because 4 to destroy 3 non-land permanents is so good. So I feel like that this is a very political card. That it's a 6. This is a solid removal card. You just, because worst case scenario, you just get rid of 1 thing. It's like, oh, I don't want to have anybody copy it. Layla the Bladed Forge. 2 of red, 2/2, legendary spirit warrior, haste. Whenever it attacks, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. Whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your library and or graveyard, put a +1/+1 counter on her. I could see her as a weird red commander, but I could also see her in decks that have red blue and you're delving stuff and doing stuff like that. There's several different cards that remove stuff from their yards to do stuff. So, because it's whenever you exile 1 or more cards from your library or graveyard. So, she has potential to be cool. She's an interesting thing. Very niche. She gets a 5. Moving on to our next character. Next card, I mean. Two and a white for 2/4 legendary elephant. Oh baby, what do? Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to attacking artifact creatures you control. Okay, pretty cool. Whenever one or more artifact creatures enters the battlefield under your control, draw a card. Well, this sounds really good. Really good white card draw. This ability triggers only once each turn. Well, it just went from like an 8 way down real fast. He's a 4. Very limited usage. Doesn't proc enough. If you said like there's other artifacts that say all combat damage, he's just not that great. What's this? A new white ramp spell? 2, a white enchantment. Whenever your opponent casts their second spell each turn, you create a treasure token. So, if player 2 casts 2 spells on his turn, you get a treasure token. And then he goes, I'm going to the end of my turn. And then player 3 is like, oh, well, I'm going to do these 2 quick little spells at the end of your turn. You get another treasure token. So I feel like a worst case scenario going around the table, you're going to get 2 treasure tokens. Because some player might be like land flooded or whatever, so they can't do much except cast like their commander or 1 spell. So as long as there's 1 or 2 players that's doing decent, you're getting an extra mana a turn or 2. This is ramp. White needs it. White wants it. That's a 7. Next up, we have the Rune Grinder. 5 and a red, menace, 7/4. When it dies, each player may discard their hands and draw 7. Spend 2 to go find a mountain. Mountain cycling. It's a big honking menacing thing that like maybe it's good in a red-black deck where you have Underworld Dreams out or something to punish people for getting new hands, and then you just can recur him a bunch of times. Like, maybe that's a good usage for him, but I'm just not really impressed. I'll give him a 4. He's not total garbage, but he's not good. He's there. Study Hall. Oh, baby. A land that adds a colorless or you want in tap to add 1 mana of any color. When you spend that mana to cast your commander, scry X, where X is the amount of times you've cast it from the command zone. This card is just, yay, they gave us a land. Like, whatever. And this gets a 3. Next up, the Triplicate Titan. 9 for Flying Vigilance Trampo, 9/9. When it dies, you make a 3/3 colorless flyer, a 3/3 colorless vigilant, and a 3/3 colorless trampler and golems. Go forth and make the golems. This is a worse Wormcoil engine because the keywords are just worse altogether. I was thinking it might be a 4, but like, say, for the sake of saying it for funnies, it's a 3, because of the 3, the 3, the 3, the 3. It's just not that good. It's going to be good in Golem Tribal, I feel. But aside from that, not really. Next up, Wake the Past. 5, a red and a white. Return all artifact cards from your graveyard. They gain haste. Okay, so this is Roar for you only, and everything gets haste. Sure, this is sweet. This really helps the red-white artifact build. They're really pushing red-white artifacts here. So this helps the third type of red-white decks we can have. I love it. It makes the deck go great. This is an 8. It's just so amazing. As you notice, we didn't go over the list of what's in the deck for reprints. I don't think that really matters because most people that are going to be buying these decks, for the most part, are going to be buying them for the new cards. My name is Ben Trampo with the Wizards Arena. Please like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video as we look at deck 2, the blue-red one. Have yourselves a great day.